Hello, here's some more Horse Crazy. We're reading Saving Mr. Pinto and I'm on to the third part of it. So when we stopped yesterday, the girls and Kath had gone to rescue a pony they'd seen in a backyard, but a man and a big angry dog had frightened them away. So they've run back to the showgrounds. In the safety of the showgrounds, they stopped running. Kath bent over, her hands on her knees, wheezing like a steam train. Burl Ives was panting just as loudly. "Are you okay, Kath?" Sam asked. Bonnie was worried too. "I didn't know old people could run that fast," she said, and Kath's wheezing turned into whoops of laughter. "Yes," she said between breaths, "I'm pretty fit for an old girl." When they turned down the street, they could see a light on in Paris and they knew they were in trouble. "You what?" Cheryl's eyebrows shot up in shock when she heard where they had been. She waggled her finger at Kath. "You are the most irresponsible old lady in the world." Bonnie and Sam sat very still on the camping chairs, not daring to look at one another in case they got the giggles, while Kath told Cheryl the whole story. To their surprise, Cheryl calmed down. "It's very sweet that you didn't want to worry me because of the Gary Owen, but I would rather know than have you sneaking around in the dark." She turned the electric jug on. "I shampooed Choco twice today. He's so clean you could eat off him. All I have to do tomorrow is give him a light workout and ride in the grand parade." She spooned Milo into the mugs. "I'll have plenty of time to help rescue the clothesline pony." A bird's eye view. Bonnie and Sam held on tight to the metal bar as the Ferris wheel took them slowly up into the sky. First they could see the showgrounds, then they could see the streets outside, then they could see the whole city. The big wheel stopped to let more passengers on, and Bonnie and Sam swayed like two perching pigeons right at the top. The train line snaked away towards the city. "Bon," Sam pointed, "there's the pony." The unhappy pony stood head down in a muddy, messy backyard. He looked very sad. "And Sam," said Bonnie, "you can see which house it is. It's that blue house with a pile of bricks in the front yard, in the next street along from the station." There's a view from the Ferris wheel. "I'm coming, stop that knocking." Fatty Phillips pushed open his front door and blinked into the bright winter light. Two little girls and two women stood on the front step. "What do you want?" he said. "I'm not buying nothing." Cheryl got straight to the point. "We're not selling anything." She looked him right in the eye. "On the contrary, we would like to buy something from you." Kath pushed forward like a terrier. "We know you have an ill-treated pony in your backyard and we wish to buy it. If you don't agree right now to a reasonable price, we'll phone the RSPCA. Fatty scratched his hairy belly. He had no money and no chance of getting any until next week. He didn't have to think for long. "Deal done," he said. "Give us $300 and the critter's yours." "200, counted Cheryl, and Kath's glare told Fatty to accept it. He led them down the side of his house, past bursting bags of garbage and piles of beer bottles. They had to wait while he locked the growling dog in the house. The pony nickered when he saw them, and Kath turned on the man. "How could you starve a pony like this?" Cheryl untied the dirty rope. "What are you doing with it?" she asked him. To their surprise, tears welled in his eyes. "I bought it from a fella at the pub. I thought my ex was bringing the kids down from Queensland, and I wanted to surprise them." He looked down at his dirty moccasins, "but they never came. I don't know nothing about horses. He ate all the grass in the first week, and after that I've been feeding him bread." He followed them out to the street. "I didn't know," he said hopelessly. "Ignorance is no excuse," said Kath. She handed him $200 as Cheryl led the pony away. "I should report you to the police." A surprise. While Cheryl exercised Choco and Kath had a lie down, Bonnie and Sam took the pony to the washing bay. "He's a Pinto," Sam said in surprise as the mud washed off him. The pony was quiet and well-mannered. "He's somebody's pet," Sam said. "Bonnie, he must be stolen." It took 3 shampoos to get all the coat out of his white, and finally he was sparkling black and white. "Let's call him Mr. Pinto," said Sam. While Mr. Pinto munched on hay in Choco's stable, Sam towelled him dry and Bonnie combed the knots out of his mane and tail. Every once in a while he reached around and nudged her with his nose. "I think he likes us," says Bonnie. They are washing him. "He's got a heart marking under his tummy, Bon," Sam said as she lay on her back drying underneath him. "Any room for us in there?" asked Cheryl. She led Choco into the stable and let him sniff the pony. Neither horse squealed or struck out. "I think it's love at first sight," said Cheryl. I was going to find a spare stable, but maybe he can share with Choco. Kath cooked fried eggs and bacon for dinner that night, and they went to bed early. Tomorrow Cheryl was riding in the Garryowen, and the alarm clock was set for 4 o'clock in the morning. As Bonnie and Sam drifted into sleep, fireworks exploding over the main arena lit up the loft. This chapter's called Not a Hair Out of Place. Bonnie and Sam worked like little ants, passing, fetching, carrying, holding and helping. Choco was like a great big bride with everyone fussing over him. Cheryl plaited his mane and tail so not a hair was out of place. She sewed the plaits into place with matching thread. Kath wiped every inch of him with a fine cloth, polished his hooves black, and even cleaned his teeth. There was not a speck of dust in his coat. Mr. Pinto stood quietly in the corner, chewing hay. Now and again he smirked at Choco as if to say, "Man, you look ridiculous." Look at these rules. Bonnie flipped through the Garryowen guidebook. The lining of your jacket has to be navy. You have to have cufflinks with chains. A white lace-edged hanky in your left-hand waist pocket. Your spur has to sit on the stitching of your boot. How do you keep track of all this stuff? At 6 o'clock, the street sweepers went past and the girls stopped for breakfast. Soon Choco was saddled and it was Cheryl's turn to get ready. Her clothes came out of their plastic covers and Kath dressed her like a doll. Finally, Cheryl was ready and swung onto Choco. Kath inspected horse and rider carefully, searching for flaws. "You look fabulous," she said. "Good luck and have a great time." Bonnie and Sam ran ahead of Choco as he walked towards the main arena, then waved as he walked through the gates. "Good luck, Choco. Good luck, Cheryl." Kath, Bonnie and Sam sat high in the grandstand and watched Cheryl and Choco go through their paces. There were 10 horses lined up and they all looked absolutely perfect. There's another 2 groups to be judged after this, 30 riders altogether, but they judge them in groups of 10, Kath explained. "When I used to compete in the olden days," Sam joked, and Kath gave her a play punch. "Yes, in the olden days. This was a huge event. Sometimes there were more than 100 competitors and we all lined up together. If you were at the end of the line, you had to wait for hours and you'd certainly lost your sparkle by the time your turn came. That's why they judge in groups now." One by one, the road riders completed their workout, following the judge's instructions and showing off their horses. Round circles, square halts, extended trots and flying changes looked easy and effortless. Choco did everything perfectly. When it was time for Cheryl's costume to be marked, she dismounted and stood on a square of canvas. Bonnie and Sam couldn't help laughing as the judges carefully inspected every inch of her. "She's even looking in her ears," whispered Sam. 2 judges checked Choco and his gear just as thoroughly. Finally, the judges lined the horses up and they stood as still as statues. Only Choco moved, turning his head slightly towards the stables. "He's thinking about that little pony," Kath said. "Oh dear, they'll mark him down for that." "We are really sorry," said Sam. "We didn't mean to mess up your Garryowen." Bonnie and Sam felt terrible. "That's right, love." Kath felt guilty too. "If we had left that pony where he was and you would have been placed for sure, you might have even won." Cheryl was snipping the thread from Choco's plaits, undoing hours of work in a few minutes. "I can't pretend I'm not disappointed, but I'm disappointed with him." She slapped Choco on the neck. "He's the big baby who should have behaved better." She teased out the plaits with her fingers and Choco's mane stuck out in curls. "I hope you feel as stupid as you look," she said to him. "I'll just have to work harder for next year, but we did the right thing. We had to save Mr. Pinto." "I'm not sorry about that." She turned to the girls. "Now we have to figure out what to do with him." Bonnie had a plan already. "Let's make a found poster and stick it on the stable door. He must belong to somebody." "We'll have to hurry." Bonnie and Sam worked on the poster together. "That looks exactly like him," Cheryl said. "Make sure you put our address here at the show on it. I'll get some copies made at the office and you can stick them up around the showgrounds." So there's Choco with his silly curls, and there's a girl with Mr. Pinto making a sign. So I better stop. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.